Is your house really cluttered and honestly all you want is to just simply have things simple for you, where you can find things, where everything has its place, but it seems so far-fetched and so out of your reach that you don't even know where to start? Hi, I'm Carolee Galt, and I'm actually an ADHD productivity strategist for your business, your household, and your life. So decluttering, as an ADHDer, can be a little hard because decluttering takes a lot of decision, a lot of organizing, a lot of yes, no, maybe, do I really need that? Like, have I used that in the past year? Do I have a place for that? There are so many steps to decluttering. So you need to make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself and that you're taking it one step at a time in one room at a time. So I always like to go back to why. What is the cause? Why is my house so cluttered? Does it have to do with something in my past? Does it have to do with how I grew up? Did it have to do with money? Maybe you didn't have a lot when you were younger. There are so many reasons why, the causes of having clutter and just a lot of things. So think about that. Think back to your past. How did you accumulate all of these things that are in your home? Why do you hold on to them? Is it honestly because you think you're going to use them? Or is it because they're there and one day you're going to use it? So why do you want to declutter it? Why have you gotten to the point where you are like, I am done. We are decluttering this thing. I got there not that long ago. Personally, I grew up with my grandma being an extreme hoarder. Like those things stacked to the ceiling, our entire house full of things. That was my grandma. I love her to death. But that was what I thought was normal. I grew up in a house that also was decently cluttered because my mom thought that was normal too. I'm all about simplicity and being more productive. And if I can't find things, or if I can't just have someone come over, or whatever that looks like, it's not simple for me, then I've got to figure out how to make it simpler. So decluttering my entire house has been the goal. This has been a very, very long time coming because I had to get myself in the right mindset in order to be able to let go of things. Because I did have the mindset of, but I'm going to use it at one point. Well, what if I get rid of it, then I'm going to need it, and then I'm going to have to buy it again, and I don't really have the money to do that. Any of these relatable to you? I used to move about once a year the first few years of our marriage, and we would literally get rid of a trailer or two full of junk, or things that we would at least take to the landfill. Not all of it was actual junk, but it's things that we had accumulated over the year that we no longer wanted to take with us every single year. That's insane. But that was how bad it was. Now, we've bought in a house and we've lived here for about 4 years now. And we have taken some trailerfuls to the dump, but it wasn't once a year. This is a house that we've had the most room in, but it's still just as cluttered as any of our other houses, or at least it was. So I started going, why? Why do I want to get rid of these things? Why do I want to clean home? Why? And it has nothing to do with what other people think, although it is a nice thing that when this is completed that someone could easily come over and it'd be fine and not have to worry about where they're going to sit or anything like that. But I'm here to share with you how you can start. Now, I am only about halfway through this process, but I feel a humongous weight lifted from my shoulders, literally, because now I can walk through the rooms. Now things have a place. I don't have to spend my weekends cleaning and moving things to another space just to move it again later. Who does that? Like, that was totally me for years. I was like, oh, I'll just move around and make it look like I did something. I'm not calling anyone out, I promise. But if you do feel called out, keep listening. So I had to get to a spot where I was okay with saying, just get rid of it. Just junk it. I don't care anymore. Because I saw my end goal. And my end goal was simplicity. I want my own version of minimalism. So not like I have nothing, but not that I don't have things in general, okay? Like everything has its place. That is my goal. I know where things are. I know if you have ADHD, out of sight, out of mind. Well, if it has a spot and it's always going in its spot, it's going to be a lot easier to find. But if it can go anywhere because things are just cluttered and it just blends in, it's going to be a lot harder. So I'm going to see how this all works out. So far, I've been doing decently well. Because moving it from one spot to the other spot, now I couldn't find the things that I needed. So I'm like, it needs a permanent spot. So a lot of the reasons people decide to declutter is because they want more room. or they need money. Maybe your house is always a mess or you can't find things. That's a lot of reasons why they want to declutter. And then they struggle to start because it all starts in your mindset. All right, so here is the quick little process on how to start. If you want more information, of course, you can always look in the description. There'll be other resources for you there. You have to want to get rid of the things, right? I've probably said that at least 5 times during this entire video. So you have to want to do it. It's important. Your mindset has to be in the right place. You have to start with one room at a time. You have to start in the rooms that will make the biggest difference. What are the rooms that are taking up your mind, that are just making you super stressed out? It could be your bedroom. It could be the kitchen. It could be your living room. It could be your bathroom. It doesn't matter which room it is for you. Start with that room. Just literally go through the things in piles. So let's start with the kitchen. How are we going to declutter the kitchen? Maybe your counters are completely covered in appliances, or maybe you have umpteen amount of coffee cups. Guilty. Maybe you have, just so many things, like your cupboards are stuffed full of things, and you honestly don't need all of it. Go through one cupboard at a time, one section of your counter at a time, and ask yourself this: have I used this recently? Recently meaning the last 3 months, 6 months. If it's obviously something that you only use once a year, like around Christmas time or something, that's a completely different story. Like your Christmas cookie cutters, like of course you don't necessarily use those all year round, and it's for a special occasion, but make sure that you have a spot for those things and it's not overtaking all of the things, okay? So if you honestly don't use it anymore, think about selling it. And if you're like, I don't even want to deal with selling, then donate it. It does not have to be difficult. So after you've decided whether or not you need to keep it or not, that's one task. You literally you go through it all and you're like, keep, not keep. That's it. Nothing else. After you've decided what you're keeping, obviously the stuff you're not keeping is going to go in your vehicle or your garage, or whatever that looks like for now. And the stuff that you're keeping, you are now going to look at, where does this go? Where does this fit? And then you're going to start organizing it. We're not going to declutter and organize at the same time, because it doesn't work, because then it doesn't feel like you did anything. Trust me, I've tried it many ways. So then you're going to figure out where it goes. And then after you decide, okay, this is where it goes, then you're going to clean it. Okay? Or you can clean it and then put it where it goes, depending on what room you're at. Like obviously if you're putting books on a bookshelf, then you're not going to want to put the books on the bookshelf and then clean it. You're going to clean it and then put the books on the bookshelf. Kind of use some your own judgment here. So the biggest thing I want you to take away from here is that you have to learn to let go. You have to have your mind in the right space. You have to do it one step at a time, one room at a time. Every single room, one step at a time. It will take a while, especially if you're super busy, but there is a way to get it done. We have decluttered my house over the course of a year while working full-time, homeschooling children, and we are almost done. We have our laundry room, which also doubles as a storage room, left to do. And we have our garage, which is where we put a lot of the things that we're donating or having a garage sale for in there. And then, of course, junk gets thrown in there sometimes too. So we just have our garage and our laundry room to go through to finish our entire house. That's super exciting. I can literally taste it. And the biggest part about it is that you got to keep up on it too. Otherwise, it'll go right back. You have to really figure out the cause of why you had too many things to begin with. But just continue to become aware of your behaviors and become aware of the reasons why. And don't enter into them in judgment. Enter into them as, I am going to do better, but I can't do better if I don't know how to do better. I don't know why I am not doing better already. Different things like that. So what is the room in your house that you absolutely are going to start with decluttering? The one that will be a huge painkiller, right? It will work fast. It will help your mind get clear really fast. Which room is that going to be for you? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to this channel as I drop one new productivity video for ADHD entrepreneurs regarding your business, your household, or your life.